So, welcome to a brand new episode of You Unlocked. Today, I'm sitting down with someone who is not only an innovator and creative force, but also a mother navigating the beautifully chaotic world of business and babies. Vicky is a videographer and photographer who has spent years capturing the stories of powerhouse women, from coaches to fitness leaders, and now she's stepping into her own spotlight in a whole new way. She's the founder of Get Your Props, and she's just launched the world's first iPhone case with a built-in tiltable stand. It is so cool. It is a game-changing product born out of her own experience as a content creator and busy mom. In this episode, we talk about where the idea came from, what it really takes to bring something bold into the world, and the often unseen emotional and mental hurdles women face when building a business, especially while raising little humans. This conversation is real, it's honest, and it's exactly the kind of episode I wish I could have heard when I was in the thick of questioning if I could really do this big thing and still show up for my family. So, whether you are a mom, a creator, an entrepreneur, or maybe all three, this episode is your permission slip, a reminder that your big ideas matter, that your pace is perfect, that you don't have to wait until things are less messy or more figured out to take action. We talk about failure, fear, and self-doubt, but also the magic of following your gut, trusting your voice, and daring to believe that you were made for more. So, whether you're listening from your car, whether you're folding laundry, you're driving to work, or just sneaking in a quiet moment, I hope this conversation meets you where you are and reminds you that you are not alone. So, hi, if we haven't met yet, my name is Darby. I'm a certified mindset coach and business mentor, and through the blend of strategy and energetics, I support women in building unshakable confidence, creating magnetic brands, and teaching them how to finally show up as the leader that they are meant to be. So, if you are a woman ready to stand out and claim your space online, grab my free Convert Codes Method Masterclass. So, you can grab all the details in the show notes below and or comment and I will send it to you. So, Vicky, I am so thrilled that you are here. I am so excited to chat with you today because hands down, what you're doing with Get Your Props is absolutely amazing. Like how you're showing up online, how you're showing up with so much honesty and realness. It's truly badass and quite frankly, really inspiring me to, yeah, just be a part of that and witness that. And so I can't wait to dive into this conversation with you. And for those who don't know you yet, could you paint us a little picture of who you are, who you were before Get Your Props, as far as, the mom, the creative, and the woman behind the camera?
Yes. Oh, Darby, that was such a lovely intro. I'm gonna have to get that and just like play it to myself every morning because that was lovely. Thank you so much.
Of course.
I am so happy to be here. And yeah, I mean, it all sounds so incredible. I think when someone else introduces you and then you're like, oh wait, yeah, I do all that stuff. That's really cool. So yes, before props really kicked off, I was a videographer and I had been for, well, I still am. I've been for about 10 years. Sorry, been for about 10 years. And I have a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old, and I've been with my husband, the beautiful Mickey, since I was 16 years old. So we've been together, I think it's like 18 or 19 years now. And before props really got going, I only had one baby. So I had my Billy boy. And me and Mickey, to be honest, even pre-kids, we love work. So we would work all the time. All the time, anytime we could. We loved it. We love videography. My husband's an editor. We literally traveled the entire world doing videography from Mount Everest to little towns in Spain to the US, all over the place. And I had the idea for props when my son was maybe like 3 months old, I think. And we started it, really got onto it. And sorry, no, not 3 months old. I had the idea for it when my son was about one, because then I found out I was pregnant 4 weeks after we put down our entire life savings for props. So yeah, life before props was chaotic and it's still chaotic now.
Yay.
I don't think it ever won't be chaos, you know?
I love it. Um, I know like your work as a videographer and photographer has focused on women leading in their space. And how has that shaped your own mindset as a creator and a businesswoman?
Yeah, I think, when I was doing my videography, I shot a lot of women, a lot of powerhouses, a lot of women in business, and I definitely think that has rubbed off on me. And my confidence of the truth is that I was always behind the camera for a reason. I hate being in front of the camera, and actually, since starting props, I've had to step in front of it. It's like the only way that we can fully make this business work is for me to put myself out there because we can't afford to pay someone else to do it for us, and nobody will care about this as much as I do, or me and my husband do. And so when I did have to start getting in front of the camera, I feel like I did kind of go back to all those years of filming these incredible women and how they would do it and the energy and the focus and the confidence that they would bring. I was like, I need to bring this into my work now. And so it's definitely been such an incredible journey being able to work with all these women and then being able to take all of that knowledge from behind the camera to now in front of the camera. Yeah.
And honestly, it is so inspiring and refreshing to watch you, how you're showing up with your content and your marketing and everything. Like, I absolutely love it because it it feels really authentic. It feels very you, and I think that is um, like the backbone to any successful brand is to really like, yeah, be in that value and alignment with who you are and what you came here to do.
That's it. I mean, honestly, I don't think I would know how to show up any other way apart from as myself. Like, it is so daunting being in front of the camera anyway that I can't imagine being in front of it and trying to be somebody else. Like, all I can do is think, just say what comes to your mind and get that out. So I really appreciate that you think my authenticity shines through because, yeah, I honestly don't think I could do anything else, you know?
Of course. Yeah. So let's talk about this incredible invention, the world's first iPhone case with a built-in tiltable stand. Like, how incredible is that, right? And I cannot wait to get my hands on one as soon as you get the
Everything.
17 Pro in December. So,
That's it.
counting down for that. But what sparked the idea? Like, where, was there a moment that you thought, why doesn't this exist yet?
Yeah, I mean, look, I've always been very entrepreneurial. I've always been thinking of like, I love videography, but I knew once we had kids and stuff that it was becoming very time, like, time in equals money out, which is fine. And I still love videography, but we've always, me and my husband, been thinking of like other little side hustles that we could do or different businesses we could start. And he's a lot less of a risk taker than me. I am really impulsive and like, let's do this and this is it and we've got it. And he's always the person to say, well, look, let's take a real look at this. And I don't think this would work for this or da da da. And so one day I was literally in Sydney and I'd been filming with an agency. We'd finished this big shoot for a really cool company. And we wanted to finish the day by doing like a BTS like dance routine, right, for TikTok. And we were in this alleyway and we kept trying to put our phone up high and face it down so you could see all of us, right? And no matter what we did, we could not get that angle. We could not get our phone to face down without falling or whatever it might be. So we ended up just putting it on the floor, propped up against, I don't know, some books or something. And in the shot was whatever. It was fine. And I was home that night and I was like 2 o'clock in the morning, breastfeeding my son. And I was like, just wrote on my notes app, iPhone case with fully tiltable stand question mark. And the next morning I woke up to go online to like buy something that had that thing in it. And there was nothing. There was literally nothing online that I could find that had a tiltable stand built into the phone case because I was like, I'm not going to bring a tripod for my phone. I already carry 3 tripods for my equipment. I'm not going to bring, remember, like a MagSafe attachment. I'm not that type of person. I've got too much other things to think about. And there was nothing that was built into the phone that could fully go any which way, right? And so I told my husband the next morning, I was like, I've had this idea. What do you think? And he went, that. Say that again. And I was like, oh my God, is this the idea? Like, is this
We're
it?
on
And
to
he's like,
something
this is
here.
it. Yeah, he's like, this is it. He's like, this is it. So he gets going straight into market research, having a look at like what the industry looks like. And the iPhone accessory industry, the phone case industry is a $1 billion industry and it's only growing.
Yeah.
And content creation is an industry that is quite new and that is really taking off. And nowadays, everybody has to be a content creator, whether you own a plumbing industry or a bakery or, whatever it might be, everyone's making content. And we just saw this incredible gap in the market and we decided to go for it and fill it.
I love it. I absolutely love it. And
Thank
I'm
you.
so excited for you guys because it's a brilliant idea.
Thank you.
Brilliant.
Thank
So, building a product, especially something brand new like that that's never been created before, that's no small feat, right? Can you take us through like some of the unexpected challenges that came up, especially in the early stages?
Absolutely. Yeah. Obviously, you have the idea. It doesn't exist. We've never done anything like this before. So initially, we did turn to an agency in Australia that was supposed to help us with the whole design, the development, and finding a manufacturer like from start to finish that they're like that's what they advertise. Long story short is we wasted a lot of money and a lot of time and we ended up doing the whole thing ourselves with the help of a friend of ours who has done sourcing since she was like 18. She's phenomenal. And I think the biggest lesson for me is that you can't give your power away. Like you can't trust anybody else to do the thing that you need to do yourself. And you do need to do it yourself. If you are going to launch a product and you don't have a lot of money, you do need to know everything about your business. You need to know who your manufacturer is. You need to know your MOQs. You need to know your pricing, the units, the packaging, who's who. Like you can't, I don't know what we were thinking, hey, because even with this sourcing agency, they would find us our manufacturer, but we would never know who our manufacturer was. Like, that's wild, hey.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't know their markup. We wouldn't know really what our genuine price per unit was. It was just looking back now, I just think that we were so uneducated in this. We were so scared. A lot of agencies will tell you, you can't do it on your own. You hear horror stories of being ripped off or, Chinese manufacturers doing X, Y, and Z, but actually it's not like that. Like it's not like that. There are horror stories,
Yeah.
obviously, but there are also equally as many horror stories with agencies. And so you might as well do it yourself and learn. And I just think that was my biggest learning is that I don't want to hand my power off to anybody else until I understand every single thing about the business. Do you know what I mean?
100%. And finding the right people to work with too, to
Yeah,
like execute. this idea that this vision that you have um, can take time, but it sounds like you've got it all sorted now.
We do. We have the best little team at the minute. I mean, it's still literally me and my husband that do everything, but we have a phenomenal girl, she's doing our sourcing. She helps us with all of our product development. She's kind of like our middleman. So we'll tell our manufacturer, Chris, we need this, this, and this. She'll help us organize it, get it all sorted, get it here, get it to our door. And we also have a minute at the minute, we're doing just an hourly freelance with the most amazing PR girl as well, and her name's also and she's helping us just a few hours every month to kind of like reach out to different mainly print and different influencers and publications to see what we can kind of get done there, and then everything else we do ourselves. Yeah.
Oh, amazing. Sounds like it's a lot of work though, right? And you're, mind you, still raising two little ones, like under three.
Yeah.
So, that's not easy. And what I'd love to know, like, as a mom myself, too, like, there's so many things, behind the scenes. And I know that Instagram and social media and everything can be a bit of a highlight reel, and no one really wants to talk so much about the hard parts, the sticky parts of growing a business. And that's what I resonated so much with you with some of your recent content. But yeah, like tell me a bit more about how you're juggling all of that and navigating motherhood and
And
business.
yeah, I mean, the truth is it is the hardest thing I've ever done in my entire life. Not only are we juggling the launch of props, the startup, the debt we're in, all of that. We are obviously, I've got my 3-year-old, my 1-year-old. We've got the oldest house in the world. It was built like 110 years ago. So that constantly is what renovating. And we've got ducks, rabbits, chickens, dogs. So there's that aspect. We are also still working for our videography company and doing editing, obviously, until Props is able to pay us, which I genuinely do not think is going to be for another good year or two. Like, fully, we've taken that off the table and we're like, do you know what? As long as it pays for itself for now, that's okay, but we need to figure out a way to pay our mortgage because it is not props right now. And I think that's one other big thing that I would tell any person starting a business is we really thought we were going to push a button and we're going to be like, yes, like, oh my God, we're rolling in it. Absolutely not. Do not quit your day job while you are building a business because you need to make sure your mortgage, your bills, there's food on the table. And I think me and Mickey treaded a very fine line of dangerously nearly doing that. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Not doing that, I should say. So yes, juggling it all is very difficult. What has helped me and Mickey, also, we don't have any family here, right? And my kids do 2 days of care between them a week. So we get 2 days a week where both of them are in care, and it's for like a measly 6 hours or something. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's barely here or there. So what has helped us extremely is making a schedule every week. So being like, this is how many hours Mickey gets in the office. This is how many hours Vicky gets in the office. This is how many hours we're doing. And we're always like, what's one day of the week where we can carve out when neither of us are at work at the office and we're just about the kids and not even doing house stuff, nothing like we need a full day a week where it's just us. But when are we doing the gym? When are we doing this? When are we having a night to ourselves just to not work? Like we have to, and I'm not that type of person. Like I feel like I like to be quite like spontaneous and but it's the only way that each other can feel like we're getting ample time to work, that each business is getting enough attention and that our kids are getting enough attention. Like it's honestly the only way that we found that helps. And even when we write a schedule, obviously shit still always hits the fan. You've got to be flexible, but that's definitely helped us. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. And I do think that that's really important because unless you are scheduling it in, like even if it is like lunch,
Yeah.
workout, like
Yeah.
you can get sucked into business. And I know like I've done that too, where I've got so many ideas and I'm so like inspired and I'm writing content, I'm writing emails, I'm writing like all these things. And then it gets to be like 4 o'clock and I'm wondering, why am I so cranky? Why am I so tired? It's like, oh yeah, I forgot to like eat today,
Yeah.
And so like, yeah, just scheduling that in and prioritizing yourself so that you've got that balance of work, family, you, so that you're not, yeah, like
Burning out. And to
burning
be
out.
honest as well, I think some weeks I have to accept, okay, like this week is I'm not gonna get as much done on props as what I want. I'm gonna have to be mama this week because Mickey's picked up an extra editing gig or whatever it might be. So I'm mama this week, and that's what I'm gonna be really good at.
Yeah,
But next week, the kids have got daycare, Mickey hasn't got as much work on, so he can have them, and then I'm gonna be the best at props.
yeah,
Like it just is what it is. Like there is no formula. There is no. Sometimes you're good at something, and other weeks you're bad at it. Like it is. You just have to flow with it. Sometimes it's tricky. It's tricky.
yeah, 100%. Um, And something too that you said, like you thought that starting the business, you just like, hit the button and then all these sales were going to come flying in. And like that wasn't the case. And I know for me too, like when I started my coaching business, I went through like the training, I got certified and everything. And I literally thought like, okay, I'm a coach now, like I'm certified. People are just going to throw their credit cards at me and want to work with me. And like that just was a little bit, unrealistic. But that's the thing too, like you see all this stuff on Instagram and people, oh, I made 6 figures in 30 days, 90 days, whatever, like all these like massive success stories and you
Mm.
think, okay, like
Gonna be
that's
us.
possible, that's going to be me. And then when that doesn't happen, you just like like the guilt, the shame, the frustration, the pressure, like everything
It's a
bubbles up. Um, so that's definitely been something that I've overcome as well, as far as like the mindset work, the identity work, really kind of digging in and connecting more to me and, aside from learning to market and learning all the, like the business side of things, it
Mm.
really is I feel like business is so personal and it is like a you journey alongside of it. Like you're constantly growing and evolving as you build this business. What
Yeah.
um What have you found, or like what has surprised you the most on this journey as an innovator, as an entrepreneur, and a mom?
What a surprise. I think definitely the kind of the realization that we're going to be in this for the long haul. And there is no such thing as an overnight success. I think that's the biggest thing for us. We hit launch and we did, looking back now that I've reassessed like expectations, reality, what's possible, what's not, we actually did so incredible. Like we made $10,000 in our first week. And like that's insane. Like that is incredible. And to think that I was so deeply disappointed in that now makes me think, Vicky, what the fuck? Like it's just so weird how it just shows you, doesn't it? It's all about what you're thinking in the minute. Because if I had had an expectation, oh, okay, I'm gonna even if I made a grand in my first week, like what a success, and I'd made 10, that could have been the best week of my life, right?
Yeah.
Like it's all about managing your expectations and finding out what's actually working. So me and Mickey, we did had an incredible launch, but we took a real hit that week. and we were really low. And we were like, oh my God, we've invested nearly $300,000 in this business. Like, we've borrowed from family. What the fuck are we going to do? And then we had a really great few deep and meaningful, some big talks with family, with friends, with each other. And we were like, okay, let's get our mind around this. And we did. And we feel now like our goal is like if we can get to like five consistent sales a day, like that's our next goal. Like let's get to that. And we're nearly there. Like once you average them out over the week. Also, like our Black Friday sale, we were like, if we could make 2 grand on our Black Friday sale, we made 5,000. So like, like we're like really in the what's actually genuinely realistic for a brand new startup that has 2,000 followers on Instagram. Like what is realistic for that? And now we've got so creative with like, how are we going to grow? We've just turned off all of our ads. We're not doing anything paid anymore. We're going to do this all organically for the next 6 months until we figure out and we know exactly who is our customers, what is our goal. We need to work on the product, our packaging costs, our unit. Like, there's just so much more that goes into it than I think I ever really thought. And although that learning has been hard, I'm so grateful for it because I actually feel more inspired, determined, and hungry than I ever was pre-launch. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. And
Yeah.
it's those reframes and those perspective shifts that really actually create more momentum because now you're not focusing on the what you don't have. You're
Mm.
focusing on what is working and yeah, really how far you've come and how much more you can expand and grow and just like sky is the limit.
Yeah. And I think
Yeah.
especially a big thing for me is like taking profit or taking like having this expectation that we're going to make profit from it. We have to see props like as our own, as its own little entity and its own little thing. And it's like a kid that has to grow and get bigger and figure out it's like I think taking off paying ourselves off the table, we've kind of said for a good 12 months and then we'll reassess. That's actually been really calming for us. And then randomly, loads of work for Drishti, like our videography business, has came back in, which is just so like we're like, okay, all right, like everyone gets it now. We're focusing on this, and that's a side hustle for now. Let's pay our bills, let's get our mortgage sorted, let's get everything good. And yeah, it's just been this, it's been really nice. I feel like once our mindset shifted and we got our heads around it, everything else in our life kind of went along with
It's in
that.
place. Yeah,
Mm.
totally. So what would you say to the woman listening who has an idea, a passion, this like a calling, but maybe she's worrying that it's just not the right time or if she's ready, what would you say?
I mean, look, I am not the type of person that would say just follow it, go for it. Like I've learned hard that sometimes you aren't ready and sometimes you don't have the money to do it and sometimes it does need some extra thought. Our product took 2 years to get to market and a lot more money than we ever dreamed of. And I would say listen to all sides of it. Listen to the passion, investigate, listen to the calling, but also listen to the worries as well, because they are there for a reason. And it's not ridiculous to worry about finances. It's not ridiculous, or it doesn't mean you don't believe in yourself. If you do worry about the risks, you are supposed to do that too. A stupid person would move towards something without any worry of risk. Like I don't think that that's healthy. I think that I would say to a woman who does have an interest, who is inspired, who does have a calling to listen to that, but to give equal ear and to hear the worries and the risks because they are valid too, and try and figure out a way to minimize them is what
Hmm.
I would say.
Hmm. Love that. Yeah, like get whatever support then that you need, whether that is to just get a little bit more research around it all before you
Figure out
start, or
finances,
like
yeah.
skill set or support with, you know, your
Yeah.
business.
Yeah, for me,
100%.
even it's like I calmed down just in the lead up to launch. I wish now I'd ramped it up so I could have, like, for example, paid off our mortgage for 6 months for the first 6 months of launch. Like little things that like are gonna bring you peace. I think you've got to be calculated. You've got to think about things. You've got to weigh up risks, especially if you've got kids. So there's been literally sometimes in this first, few months where we've looked at each other and I'm like, we can't afford to pay our mortgage this month. Mickey, like, well, what are we going to do? I wouldn't recommend anybody to be in that situation. It's horrible and it's stressful and it's fucking scary. So yes, follow your calling, but also you need to think about the risks and the sacrifice and the hardship that could follow. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So I'm excited. What is the next thing for Get Your Props? I know you've got, yeah, some new cases coming out. But how can we support you?
Yeah, so we have our 17 series landing just after Christmas, I think. And we've picked two completely different colors, which is like really intense and crazy. But we're going to go with two limited edition colors for the 17. We also have our second product coming out in January, which is wild and it's amazing. Like it's so good. And we're looking into, we're definitely restocking our limited edition caps as well. We're going to actually start selling them as a bundle. So we'll have the phone case, the second product, and one of the caps as like a creator bundle. So we'll be launching that hopefully in February. And we have just a lot more incredible things in the pipeline for the rest of the year as well. So there's plenty of ways, but if you can't support in any financial way, even just a follow would be incredible.
I love it. Oh, I'm so excited for you. And yeah, I can't wait to find out what the new product is in
Oh,
January.
you're gonna
Cannot
love it.
wait.
I'll send it to you with the 17 as well if we've got some samples by then.
Amazing.
You'll love it.
All right. So, final question.
Love it. Go.
Um, so the name of the podcast is You Unlocked. And so the last question that I have for you is what does your unlocked self look like to you?
Oh, my unlocked self looks like to me, I think, um, traveling with my babies, with my husband, my laptop, and having the freedom to having the structure here in Australia with people that help me run props and that I can work from anywhere in the world would be my dream. That's the big vision on our board is that would be me unlocked is just the not even heaps of money, nothing like that, just the ability to travel with my babies and work on the road. That would be mine.
I love it. I love that freedom for you.
Yeah.
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 Vicky, thank you so much for your honesty, for your courage, and for being an example of what it looks like to show up and, go for it, even when it is hard, even when it is messy, and even when the doubt creeps in.
Yeah.
And to everyone listening, maybe, you needed this episode today. Maybe you've been sitting on an idea or a dream. Maybe it's felt a little too big or a little bit, too far away, but let this be your nudge that you can start messy, you can start scared. Because, you don't have to have it all figured out. Really, you just need to be willing to take one audacious step at a time. And if this episode resonated with you, share it with a friend, leave a review, or come say hi on Instagram. I'll pop Vicky's Instagram details in the show notes as well as mine. And as always, just keep going, and we are cheering you on. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Taffy.